Welcome back to Capitol Review. The Conservative Political Action Conference, Cpac, kicked off in Maryland. The annual event touts itself as the largest gathering of conservatives in the world. Returning to Capitol Review is Sarakshi. She's the Director of Audience and Head of Social Media at our media partners at The Hill. Sarakshi, welcome back.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be back.
Well, Elon Musk, as you know, was one of the main attractions to the conference this year. He was handed a chainsaw, saying, quote, "This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy." Now, would you say that this move is really his own efforts to really double down on DOGE?
That's right, Mark. I was in the crowd when Elon Musk was handed that chainsaw by Argentina's Javier Milei. And essentially what that messaging was that he is cutting away the fat, he's trimming the fat from the government. And that was the symbolism behind that chainsaw being given to him. And he really doubled down on all of the efforts that DOGE has been making under this new administration. Now, let's not forget, Cpac started on exactly a month since President Trump took office. So there was a lot of touting of what the conservatives believe to be Trump's win so far 1 month in. And Elon Musk was a large part of that and featured as a surprise guest. He wasn't on the schedule as it was published, but he was a surprise guest, and the crowd really enjoyed his insight and his question and answer session at Cpac yesterday, where he dived into a bunch of issues like DOGE, like the efforts around, all of the DOGE movements that he's been making, as well as, he touched upon those checks that Americans might see given all of the savings that the government say they've been making with those trimming of the fat of government services.
Well, Sarakshi, Vice President J.D. Vance also spoke at Cpac. Many European leaders were taken by surprise this week when he made some comments to the Munich Security Conference. How did people react at Cpac?
You know, J.D. Vance really kicked off the summit. He was the first speaker on day one of Cpac, and he really received a hero's welcome. He alluded to his speech at the Munich Security Conference that did not go down very well with other European leaders, and said that, the crowd really enjoyed that little insight and gave him a standing ovation. And he said he'd rather take it at Cpac than at Munich. But really what he was essentially there to do was to tout the Trump administration's 1 month achievements. And he really doubled down on some of the efforts that the government has been making with the president's executive orders on a host of issues, including immigration, including gender, including sports, and really touting all of their achievements so far that, according to him, have been, by leaps and bounds, been taken far beyond what the Biden administration achieved in 1 month in, according to J.D. Vance.
Sarakshi, thank you so very much for joining us.